Hi, everybody. I'm Hub Arkush, the publisher and editor here at Pro Football Weekly, along with our senior editor, Eric Edholm, as we continue to report live for you from New Orleans at Super Bowl XLVII. You know, part of our weekly routine, even when we're back at our home base in Chicago, is the Voice of the Fan poll at ProFootballWeekly.com. Now, this week we asked the question, who do you think is going to win Super Bowl XLVII? Eric, how do you think the fans responded?
I think, you start with Vegas. They set a line where 50% of the crowd is betting on one side, 50 on the other. Obviously, that's just one barometer, but San Francisco is favored. I would imagine that probably greater than 50% is going to be on that side. There is a growing tendency to think that the Ravens are a legitimate team that could knock them off. They were the number 4 seed in the AFC. They weren't seen as one of those elite clubs, but, the Niners for most of the season, I think, have been seen as the stronger, more sturdy club of the two.
Well, I think Eric's logic is right on. Now, I normally don't pay much attention to the point spread. I don't know much about Vegas, but I happened to get an email this morning from somebody who covers it, and there were some interesting facts. The game opened with the 49ers as a 5-point favorite. They're now a 3.5-point favorite. That says there's a lot of fans jumping on the Ravens side. At the end of the day, do you want the better team, which I believe is the 49ers, or do you want the hot team, which we've seen in the last couple of years as the Packers and Giants have won 3 on the road to get here as a wild card game and then won the Super Bowl? Ravens are on that same path too. I worry about the results of the hot team over the last couple of years, but at the end of the day, I think you still go with the better team, and to me, that is the San Francisco 49ers. That's what I would expect the fans to say. Now, Eric, we've given our reasoning why. I can tell our viewers that, in fact, 58% of our fans who responded did pick the 49ers, 42% the Ravens. We've told why we thought it might go that way. What do you think they're looking at besides the obvious?
Well, I think that's an important distinction you make, the hot team versus the better team over the course of the season. And you look back to last year. I mean, the New England Patriots, despite their defensive problems, were probably seen as the better team coming into that Super Bowl against the Giants. The Giants barely made it in by the skin of their teeth, and yet they got hot at the right time for the second time in the playoffs. So, it could be one of those scenarios where the Ravens rise up again. I think a lot of people are going to pay special attention to that.
Well, and it is interesting. I can tell you, in the least scientific poll in the history of man, I've got no scientific backing for this data, but we get down here, we meet with our fellow media members, you talk to everybody. The majority of the knowledgeable media people I'm talking to seem to like the Ravens, and I think they're buying into that hot team aspect that we've seen in recent years. This is about the defenses on these two teams, but you got to realize the Ravens defense was not what we expect from them all year long. 49ers were second in the league in points allowed, but in their last 2 games, they've given up 31 and 24 points. The Ravens are playing a little better football right now, and so I think that may be why there was as much sentiment for the Ravens as we saw.
Yeah, that defensive improvement clearly has been a huge reason why they're here right now. I don't think you stop Andrew Luck, a Rookie of the Year candidate, Peyton Manning, an MVP candidate, Tom Brady, an MVP candidate, and not get some credibility for what you've done. It's not just Ray Lewis, you know that. It's not just Terrell Suggs getting healthy. There are 11 guys out there, and really, another 5 key defensive players off the bench who are helping them do this.
It is week 23 of the NFL season, Super Bowl week, and that is our Voice of the Fan for this week. We appreciate you being with us for all of the great information here at ProFootballWeekly.com, and for continue to get the best in news, notes, and analysis. We hope all the news scoops and rumors before they even happen stay right where you're at ProFootballWeekly.com.